Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I thought I would just bring you along on whatever I'm working on today, which will be Milady's house plants. I'm hoping to finish up that journal today. But first I have a little bitty unboxing. So for those of you who've been here for a while, you know that I'm a huge fan of a Canadian watercolor company called Beam Paints. They are a really great company who make ethical watercolor paints, and they are Canadian and they are indigenous, and yeah, all the good things. So I just got a couple of colors that I don't have because my husband spoiled me a couple years ago for my birthday and got me the full palette of Beam Paints, which I'll have to take a break and go grab. But he So he got me that. So now whenever they come up with a new color, I just grab that new color to add it to my palette. So they have a new color that's called Orca, and I wanted to grab that. And I also wanted to grab a Salish Sea because I don't think I have Salish Sea somehow either. So yeah, you get this little note. Thank you for supporting Indigenous family business. The paints you have just purchased are made with local Manitoulin wild-crafted tree sap, hand-gathered, washed and sifted Manitoulin stone, and the finest light-fast pigments. We strive to be a plastic-free company, and we make all our packaging, either hand-cut and sanded reclaimed white cedar and birch, or wrappers hand-printed in-shop with plant-based inks and waxed with local beeswax. So you can actually get 10% off of your order there by using the code MIGWETCH. I'll hold it up a little close to the camera so you can see this. So it is all caps MIIGWETCH for 10% off. So they have tutorials and their process. You can check them out on Instagram as at Beam Paints or on beampaints.com. So I can't recommend them enough. They're lovely. They send you some lovely little stickers and things. And yeah, they're just a really great company. So they always send me little samples. So this is Wintry Night, which is one of my very favorite colors. It is like just this deep blue with gold and bronze in the background. It's really pretty. And then so they're sending these little waxed paper envelopes. They if you get a larger order, they usually send the paint stones in a really big like a bigger wax wrap. Okay, so we have here Salish Sea and Orca. So that was my order. What's this little one? This is a free sample of wild salmon. Oh, that's so nice. They gave me a free paint stone. Well, that's pretty nice. Oh, look at that color. So, for no good reason. So these paint stones, they vary in price, and actually they don't vary in price. I mean, they're around $10 each. You will get years out of these. Let me grab my palette. I'll show you. I've been using mine for like 2 years now, and I'm literally not noticing any difference in any of my paints. I also use, I'll show you. Oh, wait, sorry for the reach. So like I also have a few of these little palettes. My daughter has one, I have one. And like, yeah, these were actually imperfect palettes where they had like leftover paint, and they had them on sale for like $20 or something. But I have all sorts of Beam Paint stuff. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is my Beam Paints palette. It's in this lovely big Beam Paints wax wrap here. So see, it comes, this is beeswax wrap, and it's so nice to just put right around my enamel dish. So this whole set is from it's Beam Paints whole entire, you can get their whole entire palette and you'll get everything. So I think I have wild salmon already, I'm not sure. I do, so here it is. But now I have a second one, and that's pretty awesome. I can't believe that they sent me a free paint stone. Like, why? That's so nice. Thank you, Beam Paints, if somehow you're watching this. I do often talk about you, so I appreciate you. So here's Orca, and here is Salish Sea, and I seriously didn't think I have Salish Sea. I am very impressionable. So this is Timberwolf Gray. and very impressionable. And I saw an ad on Facebook that was showing you how far, in fact, these paint stones go. And they were using Sailor Sea, and they were just watering and splashing on me. It was a massive canvas, and it barely touched the color. And like, oh, I do have Sailor Sea. It's right there. I'm so silly. But like, it just, that's my favorite like color of like aqua. So I was like, I'm gonna grab one of those because I had to pick up Orca anyhow. So there's Orca, that's the new one. And yeah, this is really a treasure. So like I said, I've been using this for 2 years, and you guys have probably seen me use it a few times. I also do a lot of watercoloring. If you've seen like my digitals and stuff, these are the watercolor paints that I use to create them. So I would say the gold is the only one really showing that I've used some of it. Maybe this blue, maybe this green, but yeah, like they're really great little paints. That's all I've got to say. They're amazing paints. And this I will put in my little, so if you guys had tuned into one of my videos, I showed you I have this little Bob Ross Happy Little Tree mint tin. So I also keep, these are from Beam Paints, and I keep those in there. And then I have another little tin that I keep my little samples in, but I'm actually going to put this one in here because I want it to be in here with these guys. I'll just put it on top for now until I find my other tin, which is somewhere up here. Okay. So I can put these paints away, and maybe we'll get started on my journal that I'm working on. So I'll just set them over here. So I got lots done yesterday, guys. I'm so excited about this journal. This journal is making me very happy. So this is Milady's houseplants. I did show a few different things about it, I think. I know I posted something about it, like maybe on my Moonbee Books Instagram account, like my little sneak peeks. But yeah, I've been working feverishly on this one in the background, not filming or anything. So I put this book together. I guess I'll talk a little bit about it. I won't go into too much detail because I'm almost at the flip through, but yeah, I've rebuilt the spine for this, but I used the original spine and I stitched it down on the newly created spine that I made because I really wanted to keep this. I thought it was so pretty. And I did a different kind of a spine dangle this time by stitching together all of these lovely leaves and little flowers, and I just love how that looks for a little houseplants journal. So now what I need to do is I need to put in my end papers. So I start this journal out with this beautiful, this is an authentic card, like a druggist's card that I got in New York, and then this is how it starts out. It's so pretty. I use some pages from a digital by Romantica Arts called The Botanist, so you'll see some of those in here if you're wondering. I'll talk a little more about it probably in the flip through, or I'll say I forget where these digitals come from, because I do that often because my brain. My daughter gave me this little tiny tulip tree leaf today because she's cute like that. Now I know I already have pre-cut and pre-inked papers that I specifically pulled for this book. This is such a pretty paper. I love it so much. It is Oh Happy Day from Carta Bella, and I got it at my local scrapbook store, I think in like their clearance bin, like you know when there's maybe one of something left. That was how I got this paper, and it's all framed florals. So cute. So let me double check my dimensions here. Yep, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. Okay, so I need my art glitter glue, and I need my 3-in-1. I actually refilled my 3-in-1 and my art glitter glue. Actually, both of them, yeah, this morning. I was like, well, I might as well refill these glue bottles because both of them are quite empty. So when I'm putting in my end papers, I always put 3-in-1 on the fabric, and then I'll cover the back of the paper I'm laying down with the art glitter glue. Just because, like, yeah, it's just double, triple kind of making sure that everything does what I want and doesn't lift. So I've had a bit of a busy work day today. And I took my daughter to swimming, and I got her midway kind of report card from her teacher. And she is doing amazing. I am so proud of her. The teacher said to me, so I had this whole plan for what I was going to tell you, like everything, she can do all the things I need her to do. I was just going to say that she needs to work on her treading water. But then she corrected it today. She said, she was struggling with, okay, so like when you're treading water, if you start to sink, you can basically do like a good strong kick to bring yourself up, quite dramatically. So that's something that she wasn't kicking kind of strong enough to bring herself up, and she instead would try to do a bunch of fast little arm kind of, doggy paddles to bring herself up. And while it still works, it's not as useful in an emergent situation where you really need to bring yourself up. Like maybe there's a bit of an undertow or something, and you need to, get back to shore, and you've been treading water and you need a boost. That's what they were trying to teach her. So she wasn't quite doing that. But then today she's like, no, she's got it now. She did it today. I had her do it 3 times. And in between other things that she was doing, and she's got it. So I said, okay, well, if anything else arises, just let us know, and we'll be happy to give it a practice. So her teacher's really nice. All the young people who do swimming teaching at our local rec are just lovely, amazing young people that they give me faith in humanity to see such kind young people. Although it's not really a surprise to me. I honestly think most young people are super cool. I'm not one of those people who subscribes to the youth nowadays kind of mindset. I definitely don't believe in that, and I get a whole lot of proof because I spend a lot of time with young people who are everything from little kids to high schoolers and college students. And so one example is there's a house full of students that live in a house on a street near mine. And so my husband, he's kind of become like Mr. Rogers of our neighborhood because my children are extremely engaging. They want to talk to everybody. That's just I guess it's just the age or the phase that they're in, or I don't know if it's their personalities, but they're both little outgoing, extrovert type kids. So they want to say hi, they want to know how you're doing, they they want to ask you questions, they basically want to have you join our family if possible. So they actually make a lot of people feel pretty good, I think, and that's really a blessing that I have with these guys. So there's a house full of students, girls that live on the street behind us. And so when my husband takes our dogs out every day to go on their walks during the day, usually my son, but sometimes both my kids will go with him. So my daughter is always just really struck with girls that are teenagers or early 20s kind of, they're cool, right? So they always talk to these girls. And so this Friday is one of their birthdays. So my daughter came home the other day, just out of her mind excited, to tell me that she's been invited to a birthday party. And I was like, oh, really? Wow. She's like, yeah, Mom, it's these 2 girls in the neighborhood. And, they're a little bit bigger than me, but not that much bigger. And so I've got to think about what can I make for them? And, they asked me what I like to eat and what kind, do I like chocolate? And I'm like, okay, slow down. So I said, how old are they? Did you learn how old this girl's going to be? And so I wasn't there when this whole thing happened. So she's like, oh no, I forgot to ask. And I said, well, that's okay. I'm just thinking about what kind of a gift we could give to her. So then I go talk to my husband about this, and he tells me the whole situation, right? Like that it's actually like a girl who's 20 something. She's in college. She's studying gerontology, and she's this like really nice girl. And like all the girls there are really nice. They always talk to the kids. But then like last night, my daughter was talking away to me like she's really excited about this party. So like I said to my husband, like, are you sure that was a legitimate invitation? Or, you know, was it just like, oh yeah, you can come to my party, he, you know, like, I didn't think it was like maybe a legitimate invite, but he's like, no, it's a legitimate invite. She gave us the exact time and, you know, what the menu was going to be and when to, you know, I was like, oh, okay, well, okay then. So I guess my daughter and my husband are going to show up to this party around the corner here for a little while to just, we'll give her a gift of some kind and be good neighbors. But yeah, the calamity of my kids and their funny social, like I don't know how many times my kids have gotten me into some kind of a weird like situation. Like they've been in most of the houses in our neighborhood, which for a city, like a large city like I live in, that's kind of weird. They've watered everybody's lawns when they're out with their hoses. Like they're literally like little neighborhood kids in a big city. It's kind of funny. And my husband is just like, oh, I've never been so social in my life. And I'm like, better you than me. And not that I don't like people. I do. I just, I'm not so extroverted. My kids are way more extroverted than I am. And, you know, maybe I have something to learn from them. So this pocket is cute. Now I want to put this cabinet card in this pocket, but it's a little too wide for the pocket. And also it's gotten a little bite down here out of it. So I think I'm just going to trim it a little bit. I will need my guillotine for that. Guillotine and a hopeful heart because, yeah. Let's just, oh, okay, that happened far easier than I expected. Now I need to trim this little bit off this side too because we lose this little white border, and that's okay. But I will round the edges because this is an authentic cabinet card. Then get that out of here. And I'll take this booth information off the back. Or I will cover the back maybe. It might be easier to just recover the back. I need to clean my kneaded eraser. It's a little... It eventually all picks up. It's just pencil lead, but I don't know if I can get this off. This is the thing that a lot of antique dealers don't realize, that when you write something on the back, you see it's actually engraved into the old paper. Now what I can do, where is my sandpaper? I'm just looking, if I sound like, what am I thinking about? I'm just thinking, where's my sandpaper? I could sand it a little, and that would get rid of that. And I had a piece of sandpaper back here somewhere. Oh, I need to clean my desk. This is true. Oops, sorry if I just took you on a little ride there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find it. I have sanding blocks across the room, but you know what? I can't be bothered. And I think, you know what? I'll cover this. Let me see. I have some nice old book page that I can use probably. Right here. Yeah. Yeah, let's use this old book page from the 1800s. That will just be easier. Okay. Okay, now we'll just give it a nice smooth. This doesn't really need to be grunged up, but I can't help myself. Okay. Now this goes in here. Yep, that's good. All right, so now I need to do the eyelets in the book. So let's get my eyelet punch. Now I want to put one just above right here. So just gotta be a little careful. There. I'm gonna use brass. That goes with the label and the overall feel of the book. And then back here, right there. So now I can put this back in here, and then I need to get a couple things. Number one, I need to get my wax stuff to do my wax seal at the back here, and I need to get a nice tie for this. So I will be right back with those things. Okay, I am back. And we need to make some fire here. Okay. Oh, if you're wondering about this thing, this is a smart ignition. It's really cool. It means I don't have to like deal with a lighter. It's like a really nice quick way of, you know, creating a spark. Here you can see. Oh, hold on, where am I? Right there. Yeah, it's a nice way to create a spark. So then we'll put our tea light in here. We'll get this little furnace going. Then I think I want to use 2 of these dark green and maybe 1 light green and 1 goldy green. Oh, and I need to get one more thing. Just 1 second. Okay, I just had to get my little things that I want to add into the wax when I'm getting it going here. Move this out of the way, and I need my seal. Okay, so while that's warming, I'll just move it back here. Let's go ahead and cut this down to size. These ties. I need my little pokey tool to just pull this through. and the back tie. There we go. Those are in. We'll just wait on this little bit of wax to melt here. Guess while it's melting, I can kind of do a quickie through and make sure nothing is messed up. Let me just push this over. I'm always very cautious as it relates to fire in my paper studio because, you know, these are things that don't really go together. Oh, I'm feeling a little glue here. Might need to go in and excavate this. See, these are the things you do before you do a flip through, and definitely before you ship a book out. Okay, we're good. We're just a tiny little, the tiniest little bit of glue. It's honestly surprising how much it can make something stick in a book. But yeah, it does. So I don't have anything else on my plate today. I'm not sure what I want to do with the rest of the day, but I'm thinking of going to a nearby park and bringing my spinning wheel and spinning some yarn, and maybe my kids can play with their soccer ball. And my daughter has this her little drone. She can bring her little drone. And I'm sure my son will like the playground, so that will be fun, maybe. Maybe I will bring dinner to the park. Let's get out of the house because it's been a nice day. We went out for lunch after swimming, and it was really nice out. It's like it's a warm day, but it's not like a problematic kind of warm. Although I'm really hoping that all of these wildfires across Canada and everywhere else, Maui certainly, that it all stops. I'm very stressed out about climate change right now. I mean, not a new stress, but definitely a present one. Alright, that wax is definitely melty now. That's good. Let's get through these last few little pages and make sure we're all good. We are. Okay. So now it's time to decide how I want this to go. I think kind of here. Have those little green branches. Then we'll get our wax and just kind of carefully pour it in a circle. Just kind of add some little marbling bits here. See how those colors have mixed up together, which is nice. And then we make sure we have our stamp the right direction and press from the center. There we go. And lift. And then this just needs a moment to dry. I'll blow out my candle. But I need my gilding wax. Sorry for the reach. Okay. Oops. Yep, that feels good now. Okay. So then I just take gilding wax on my finger and I just kind of highlight over the word Studioloo, and I'll add a little to the edge, but not too much because I don't want to get rid of all the marbling and color on there. There we go. Then we need to add the date and the signature. So I'll put the date here, 2023. Okay, my little signature is in the book. Right, it's done. Yay! Maybe we'll throw this excess gilding wax on these edges. Little pretty. Okay, so this book is done. Amazing! I'm so glad I got it done. So now I'll just give it a tie up here. And I will trim these strings down. And then we'll take some pictures of it and we'll do a flip through video. And as with all of my books, they first head off to Patreon, to my Patreon friends, to let them know that this book's coming up. And then it will be in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below. You can find both my Patreon and my Etsy shop linked down below. Today on Patreon, I posted another of our junk journal badges that we're having fun with, and yeah, I have some more fun stuff planned shortly. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I finished up some bits and bobs, and I will link below beam paints, and I think that's it. I think that's all I talked about. So you have a lovely day, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye for now.